Hi, I'm Sunny, and today's video will be a yes or no pick a card. So I have 6 piles you guys can choose from, top to bottom, left to right. Pile 1, 2, 3, followed by 4, 5, and 6. If you need more time to think about the question or questions of your choice, pause the video and then select the pile when you're ready. Otherwise, I will go ahead and start with the first pile. So remember, not all yeses and not all nos are positive or negative. You do take what resonates and just use this as a confirmation to what you already know. So for the first one, you guys have a no. You guys have the 6 of Swords reversed. So whatever question you're thinking about, it's going to be a no, because either you need to work something, it's a verbal agreement or something, or communication that's bad. It just feels like maybe you're getting stuck in a rut when it comes to my voice is not lately, I'm so sorry, but my voice has been cracking, so give me a second so I just take a sip of water. So for you guys, I think that you're possibly not communicating what you really want and desiring. I think you're keeping stuff to yourself, something around those lines when it comes to not being maybe flexible, or people not being flexible with you. Very much stuck in a place where you are mentally stressed, anxiety, all these unfortunate emotional burdens that you might feel because of your mental health. It could be suffering, likely because of choices that you have to make or trying to balance things, or you trying to get out of a toxic friendship maybe, or just toxic environments that people just badmouth you, for example. It could be one of those things. But remember, this is your own interpretation too. Do take what resonates. This is just some background that could help you. So remember, it's a no. Next, pile number 2. I'm so sorry, my throat's terrible. Let me cover this. So you guys have a yes. You guys have the Devil upright. So with this card, sorry, I have to remember to cover them, I'm sorry. So with this card, it's a yes, but it might entail working more. It might entail you signing contracts, or you having to be diligent, working in a structure, something around it just feels like maybe if you're even thinking about a connection, it's a yes, but I don't know if this is a great connection for you. Like, again, this can be a cycle that you're starting or ending. It feels more like you're starting though, so do take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You're more than welcome to get your own interpretation when you hear about the Devil card upright, but this is a yes. Maybe you're waiting for a decision to be made and authorities on your side, for example, because you've been diligent and doing stuff by the book, right? So it could be something like that. Or you're working to strive for a higher position, for example, and it's finally working in your favor. People are noticing your hard work. It could be something like that, right? You know, it's not always like very negative and toxic, but sometimes it could be an attraction to someone that you shouldn't, right? Because they're not going to be most favorable to you. They can be kind of draining or toxic and stuff like that. But do take in mind that each person differs from their situation. So next, pile number 3. You guys have a no. You guys have a 3 of Cups reversed. So with this card, when I see it, you're more than welcome to select your own interpretation. You don't have to listen to me, by the way. But just giving you some background information. If you're talking about a friendship, it's not that all, how does that saying go? It's not all what it seems. It is not what it seems. Or it's basically not what you think it is. Maybe this friendship is talking behind your back. Or maybe if you think you should be partying or something, it's like, cut the party, get back to work or something. Like, face your actual emotional like baggage, and not so much your escapist behavior, like trying to always be everywhere but your own home, or everywhere but, you know, inside of your mind or your soul. It could be one of those things. I also think that maybe if it's talking about a connection, possibly, like if it's like, no, they're not interested in this other person, maybe thinking about that. So it could be like that, but I just feel that maybe you're not in a space where you feel comfortable to actually really focus on your emotional stuff, because maybe it's been dragging you, or maybe it's because you know what you have to do to put the work in and you don't want to do that. It's like, that's very murky. It's very sensitive, and you don't want to touch that because you know how you are. I think that you beat yourself down about your emotions, for example, that you're not dealing with them the way you should because you've always been a sensitive person, and there's nothing wrong with that. But do keep in mind that sometimes, like, it's just one of those things that it's your your soul. It's just it likes feeling emotions. Not all emotions are positive, right? But it can also be a positive no, in the sense where if you feel like if someone's trying to do something shady or something, it's a no, right? So do keep in mind that you're more than welcome to select your own interpretation from this. Don't stick to my interpretation. It is a general reading. Next, pile number 4, you guys have a yes. This is the 4 of Cups. So, with you guys, it's a yes. Great. But I think that maybe it just feels like you're not looking at something. Maybe you're just not interested. For example, if you start noticing, like if you're asking yourself, am I am I being more popular, or am I being more well liked, right? It can be simple like that. And the answer is yes, but I don't think you're interested, for example. Like you see it, you're like, oh great, that's fantastic. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's beneath me, right? But it is very much, well, I'm not focused on that. Your attention is elsewhere. Your attention is on other projects or on other creative stuff. On your emotional space, you could be someone that's making diaries of their emotions when they're feeling, like not diaries like dear diary, yada yada yada. This more so, there's people who like to, I don't know what's the proper term. I know there's a term, but I can't remember. It's basically people who like to journal and do a lot of cute stuff on journals, like getting cute tapes. I forgot the names of the tapes, but cute picture tapes. And then you put pictures on them. And then you write something cute about the picture. Or then you have cute fonts that you cut up from magazines and paste. Or you draw yourself stuff and use colorful markers. Like you're someone that puts a lot of effort in stuff like that, where you get to express yourself. But maybe like it's more chill. Habits that are more chill are things that you like to do. It doesn't have to be always like, if you feel this is a very girly thing to express yourself like, it doesn't have to be like this. It's just, you have a creative form to express yourself, but you're focused on that. You're focused on other things that are not necessarily love. And there's nothing wrong with that. Or you're not, like people could, for example, if you feel like you've had a drastic change when it comes to your physical appearance, and you're still kind of working that, feeling it out, experiencing what it is to have this change, and people notice you. You can notice the compliments coming in, but it's like you're not reacting the way you thought you would react, like, yes, happy. Like it's more so, yeah, thank you, politeness, courteous, but it's still kind of something that's not really feeling itself inside, if you get what I'm trying to say. But do keep in mind, this is just some examples. Very different questions for everybody. This is just a yes, could be a negative yes, could be positive yes, but do take what resonates. And next, pile number 5, you guys have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. This is a no. So whatever question you're thinking about, this is going to be a no. And I feel it's like it's one of those more, it's leaning more towards the negative no's for me, but not every no is like bad, right? So do keep in mind, it's a no. And it's drastic changes that were unforeseen. Maybe something happened that was out of your hands, or it's going to occur and you're like, I didn't plan for this. I think that you could be someone that likes to plan and be prepared, and because life isn't always about preparing for the next thing, it kind of throws you curveballs to see how you're going to react and potentially overcome such things. It's not always drastic like negative things, but it can be, you had to work on an assignment and the weather has been bad, for example, and the light's out. And you're like, how can I finish my work if the light is out, for example? It's going to be, and you don't even know it's going to be out for days or weeks, for example. How do you prepare for that? So you basically have to do things by hand, working in the daylight, and just basically waiting, or maybe it gives you enough time to actually revamp everything and fix things that you were okay with, but now that you have the time, you can actually refix it and focus. Like it's a refocusing energy, and it feels like you get to learn something from it. But it feels like one of those things where that even though it's not a pleasant change and it's not welcome, you can deal with it. It's not something that's always negative. So this is a no for whatever question you're thinking about. You're more than welcome to interpret it as you wish. This is just my interpretation. So thank you, pile number 5. 5. Pile number 6. You guys have a no. You guys have the 7 of Cups reverse. So remember, not all no's are negative no's. Sometimes they can be positive no's, and they can work to your advantage. I feel that maybe because you were, I don't know, that maybe like you had options and you have a good discerning eye to see like what was really that good, and there's a saying, I always know sayings and I never remember. I apologize, but I do know that there is something around the lines where I just had it at the tip of my tongue. Well, anyways, if I remember, I'll say it again. But basically, you think that it's too good to be true. And it is. Sometimes it is. And because you had a discerning eye, you were able to call that bluff or something. Or you were able to see first, something for what it was. And I don't know what the saying is, but I think that was what I was trying to say. A snake for a snake. You were trying to see duck for a duck. I don't remember. But basically, you remember how to have your discerning skills to your advantage. And you use your intuition at that. I think that you were more than capable to choose the right choice for you. But it wasn't something that you would have preferred. I think that maybe you really wanted to live in that fantasy. But it's a very realistic choice that you took. But I don't think you're super excited about it because you really wanted to see what the other side had to offer you. And sometimes it's not always that great. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. So this seems like it's like a reflect. I think you're in a reflective period, pile number 6, where you're realizing that, yeah, you did things great, but you kind of wanted to have that fun. The mystery of what it could be, or what it could have been, or what you could receive, or what reward are you getting in return, is like, that's what you live for. You live for the thrill of something, and unfortunately it's not always the case, right? So being down to earth, being grounded is something that you are realizing that, yeah, it's necessary, but it wasn't what you wanted, but that's fine. So do take what resonates on this pile number 6. You're more than welcome to get your own interpretation. It just feels like right now you're dealing more so with the fact that your emotions are not so much in turmoil. I feel that you are just disappointed. Or you're realizing that even though it was disappointing, you saw it coming. Or you're just very realistic in this point of you're not letting your emotions push you out. There's a way I was trying to say it. They're not allowing you to like get that far out from what's really happening, right? You don't get swayed by your emotions, something like that. So do keep that in mind, pile number 6, and maybe even that, like, you can just keep asking about something simple like, why am I having this block, like a writer's block or artist block or like creative block? It's just one of those things that you will find yourself in this space a little bit more longer, but not entirely that long. It's just something like hang in there kind of thing, because you're a little bit in a space where you can't really think clearly, but now you're slowly getting out of that, it feels like. So take in mind, just take your own opinion for this. So thank you, pile number 6. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It helps me out with my algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. So bye, everyone.